Welcome, variants, to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. In this video, we are going to discuss episode 1 of Loki season 2. It's now out on Disney Plus. We did it a long time ago. I think we reviewed maybe like 1 or 2 episodes of season 1.
Yeah.
It's one of Akram's favorite Marvel Disney shows.
Yes.
So let's get your thoughts, Akram.
For sure, it is a welcome, not a surprise because we've been waiting for a while, but welcome, whatever the fuck. So, yeah, honestly, it's confusing because a lot of people are giving it bad reviews. I honestly thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. It picked up right, like with fast pace, exactly where it ended, and I kind of appreciated that because it left us in such a cliffhanger that I was like, oh my god, what's next? And so I'm glad they actually did that. I think Tom Hiddleston's wonderful. We get Quan here. So
Quan.
There you go. He's cool, man. I love him. Remember when we reviewed Mean Girls?
Everywhere.
yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't you give us your thoughts?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. It's very fast paced, but it doesn't waste time trying to recap on the last series. It just jumps head on right into this new story, which I really like. It reminds me so much of Doctor Who, not just like with the time stuff, but it's just like it doesn't give you room to like stop. It's like you just have to keep going with the story, like as if you're with these characters, right? So I really enjoyed it. I love the different perspectives too. I actually love that Mobius isn't like fully mind wiped. It's like they explain it like that was a past version that Loki met. So Loki, apparently he can like jump or time skip through the different eras of the TVA, which I think is really interesting. I don't know how he got those powers. I forgot a lot about what happened in season 1. Unless you have a thought on it.
Yeah, no, it just they haven't really gone into it. It was just something after what Sylvie did when she stabbed He Who Remains, and then from there it just basically ended because Loki came back through that time door thing, and he was like, "Oh my God, look at the Kang statue," and that's it. So I wonder if they're gonna go more into it a little bit later on, and I wonder who else may have that ability. And when I hope it actually stopped. I think it actually stopped. I think they kind of wrap that plot point up too, because it went, the whole episode was just like, oh, how to make you normal. That was basically it. And maybe that's why some people have gripes with it, because like we really want to see more, because we have the impending threat from Kang, and it's just like this whole episode. But hey, like let it breathe. We do have a couple of episodes left, so I'm sure they'll get to it.
Yeah, I like the idea that like Kang, or at least the Kang that Loki and Sylvie met, it's like he was a necessary evil in a way. So it's like he was evil by pruning all the different timelines, but compared to the oncoming threat of the multiple Kangs, which we saw in Quantumania, which perhaps maybe we'll see again in this series, like the Council of Kangs or something. It's just interesting. It's like you can't live with the TVA, or you can't live without it, right? And now it's the threat of the sacred timeline is like it's branching out. They said it's like beyond the red now, so it's like so chaotic. It's like, how do you control that? So I'm wondering how this series is going to balance like finding a soft spot between letting all the variants live, but also trying to keep control of the sacred timeline, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's really, and I think this whole mess, honestly, is just because nothing here is really natural. If you notice, everything is mechanized, and even I love that spinning of the time threads type of machine. That was this whole thing where Mobius had to shoot a type of rope just to bring back Loki after he prunes himself. I love that whole sequence. I thought that it was really exhilarating. And I really thought that Loki was going to be trapped in a different timeline. But yeah, everything just seems so mechanical. And it's interesting how everyone's just fumbling the bag, including Kang. Like once he did that, I wonder who actually was before Kang. I always wondered that, because in a way, he kind of started this in the future, but then he discovered this thing, and it's like, oh shit, like that guy's a piece of shit a million times, or a trillion times maybe, for what he did.
Yeah, well, it makes me wonder why he mind wiped everybody, because it seemed like that past version of the TVA, it was all like Kang's like iconography, and then they changed it in the present time. So I'm like, wondering like why he kind of like erased the memory of himself in a way, unless it was like he didn't want to be like the other versions where like he kind of like idolized himself. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's gonna come down to some cheesy thing where like there's a revolt in the TVA. They don't like, you know, he maybe did something, and it's gonna kind of be the same thing like Michelle Pfeiffer's arc in M. So I think that's what it actually is. And who knows, maybe there was like this big battle going on in there, and so he figured out what he exactly had to do. And he just covered it up. It seemed like from the architecture, it was just stuff in front of it. It wasn't actually, you know, he could have pruned the actual statues and get rid of them, but instead he just covered it up. And I'm really interested in why. And I'm sure we're going to get a flashback. Hey, we don't even need a flashback. Probably there's going to be a moment where they'll go back in time or something and see it play out fully. You know?
That's what the beauty of this show. It's like you can go at different points in time, like in a second. And I think that's the beauty of this show. It's like I said, it doesn't waste time, but it also spares a few moments for like exposition, which I really like. And I just love the aesthetic of the TV. I don't know, something about it's like NASA punk or just something like very like retro style. It's like you have all this power, but it's like outfitted with all these like retro little buttons or stuff. And it's like it's almost like a chaotic, an organized chaos in a way. Because even like Ouroboros' office, like he has like all those little orders on the little pike things. I think that's so interesting as a aesthetic.
Yeah, I really. Yeah, what did you think about his character? I thought his character is just so
funny. He manages to play comedic characters really well in this episode, but also like intelligent characters too. So I feel like he's gonna be part of like this new crew that Loki forms in this. I want to see more of him.
Me too.
Just like the little devices that he makes, and he's so funny too. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna lose all your skin, in a day or something."
He's awesome. I wonder if he'll play like a good like Peter Parker's dad.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure there's an Asian Peter Parker somewhere.
No, he's really great though. And it's crazy too that didn't he win like an Academy Award recently or something?
Probably.
Right, I think so.
Wasn't it for everything everywhere all at once? Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That guy's a great. I'm telling you, it's such a common indie L that they didn't use him for the last movie. But,
such a L.
But I'm glad that he's coming back to Hollywood and he's taking on these bigger roles. Shit.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Fuck it.
But,
what would you rate this episode?
I probably this episode 8 out of 10. It was a great first episode for me. I think there's 8 episodes in the series so far. So if they run like this, I think I'll be satisfied by the end. But how about you?
Yeah, there's 6 episodes, and I think this episode was okay. I had a lot of fun with it. And Loki is one of my favorite. I mean, I have it right here, season 1. I loved Loki, and I think it introduced so much, and I hope that season 2 can introduce even more. As for the first episode, I think it didn't do much in terms of where we're placing everybody. It was just like, let's just solve your problem real fast that we didn't even have to create from the get-go. We could have just went from there and moved on, but it's okay. It was fun to see. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Well, you heard it here. That is our thoughts on episode 1 of Loki season 2. Let us know what you thought of this episode and what we will expect to see for the rest of the series. But guys, leave a sub if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more content. We have plenty of Marvel, Star Wars, a lot of movies out already this month, and spooky season around the corner. So expect a lot of horror movie reviews and reactions as well. But thank you guys so much. But until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys.